One of the biggest threats that Britain faces today and in the future years isn't the fact that the government anticipate a global conflict caused by a despot dictator wanting to take more lands. It might seem that way in the media at the moment, at the time of recording, and things may appear quite bleak. But the biggest threat that Britain faces today is in the form of Mother Nature and erosion. I'm on the south coast of England at a place called Feddlethorpe. During the Second World War and after, this place behind me was a place where planes practiced bombing raids, hitting targets on the sand dunes and the flats right next to the sea. In fact, you're not even meant to walk in there, it's a danger zone. But this region is one of those which is in the most significant amount of danger over the next few decades. It's believed, according to a recent report by a British broadcaster, that more than 2,000 properties and homes along the coast of Lincolnshire, right here, could be at risk of being swept into the sea because of rising sea levels. A study concluded that this region is one of the most vulnerable because of erosion and also sea flooding. Just down the road in that direction is the town of Mablethorpe, which attracts thousands of tourists every year. A large seawall protects the town, but if sea levels rise, then this would be no good. Storm surges have wreaked havoc there centuries before, as churches and complete parishes were swept into the sea, and much devastation was caused by the sea during the medieval period. Even during King Henry VIII's reign, a church which was rebuilt after it fell into the sea a first time, then yet again fell into the sea. The average price of a coastal home here is just shy of £300,000. And the total value of property which could be at risk here would be billions of pounds. Across the whole of the UK, it was estimated that 200,000 homes could be swept into the sea. Sea levels around the most vulnerable regions, it's believed, will rise by 35 centimetres, and this doesn't sound like much, but it could be devastating. Much of the coast here is also soft rock, meaning that large parts of the east coast would be swept away. This has happened in Norfolk, as places such as Hemsby have been taken over in the past few years, with coastal homes falling literally into the sea every time there's a particularly nasty tide. Now, the combination of a rising sea level and larger waves and more destructive waves would cause a greater risk to people who live by the coast. This could affect people living miles from the coast too. The study that was carried out warned the government to spend more money on improving sea walls and coastal defences in the hope of protecting many of the homes that are at risk, and they proposed that this will be much cheaper than paying insurance claims for people who would lose their homes to the sea. One way in which the Environment Agency tries to protect the coast right here is by restoring the beach of sand each year, rebuilding the sediment which is taken away each winter, and they claim that they can regularly review flood risk management strategies and plans to ensure that they continue to provide a sustainable and affordable future for all. They claim that the work in managing the tidal flood risk here has been very successful, and through beach nourishment, the beach is literally just in the distance over there, they work 24 hours a day, trying their best to combat more of the Lincolnshire coast disappearing into the sea. One thing to consider though is that villages, settlements and large amounts of land in this area have gone in the centuries before. Now, I'm not trying to put you off buying a home in this region and area, but I can imagine in searches which are made before a house sale is completed that it tells about flood risks in the future. In the week as of filming, where the government has increased defence spending in Britain, which is much needed, its greatest enemy may be out there, the North Sea. And that cruel mistress isn't going anywhere.